good morning and welcome to another Monday morning art talk here at Silvertune. YouTube.com/Silvertunes is where you'll find this. And I just wanted to mention we are just 3 weeks away from the big smashing CTN pre-party that I'm having on Thursday, November 19th. You can register there. It's free to attend. Just RSVP. That's at That's universe.com/drawingparty01. And you can just RSVP there, and that way I'll know you'll be there, so I know how much booze to bring and how much food to bring and all that good stuff. So there'll be a model there and a live band, and you can sketch all night, otherwise you could socialize too. So that's it. So today's art talk is about just following up with people, because I think this is an important aspect and what a lot of people in the beginning tend to go through when they're trying to broaden their business, freelance work, whatever it may be. What you'll do is you'll get contacted by someone and they're asking you for just what your rates are. They want you to do something for them, work on a specific project, and you'll respond to them and you'll say, this sounds wonderful, this sounds great, this is my rate, or this is how I work. And then sometimes you don't hear back from them and you go, why am I not hearing back from this person? They reached out to me, but I'm not hearing back from them. There could be a lot of different reasons. Sometimes I think people are just trying to get feelers. They're just trying to get a sense of your maybe response time, or maybe they're oftentimes not even sure what they want. They're just throwing it out there just to see if they'll even get you to respond. So the thing that you want to do once you've emailed someone and you don't hear back from them is you want to do what's called a follow-up. You're going to give that follow-up, and that may be within about 2 days. I would say give it around 2 days before you follow up with someone. I think that's enough time, because people are busy. They have their schedules. They got all the things they're doing. And then if you follow up and you don't hear back from them again, well, at that point, I almost feel that it's best just to step back. I don't believe in continuously following up with someone, because it starts to make you look desperate. And when they see that you're looking desperate, well, then now they can start to take just a little bit more control of the situation. And what happens when they start to take control is they start to feel, oh, this artist is desperate. They need me. They need this job. And what am I going to do? I'm going to try to get them to give it to me for free, or a fraction of the cost is maybe what's happening. But I think, there's only a certain point that you can go. I don't think that you should keep pursuing, because it's just they have either changed their mind or they just don't want to deal with you. If it's someone who's truly interested in what you have to offer, they're going to make the effort to reach out. And that's the thing that you just have to keep in mind, is that's the way it works. Those jobs aren't always going to be there. They're not always going to come when you want them. They're not going to be, it's just not going to be as sometimes even rewarding. Sometimes if you end up working with these people, you may find if you keep pursuing it and you have to work that hard and it doesn't feel natural, or oftentimes you got to go with your gut, it's time to walk away. Just stop pursuing it, because I can honestly say you're going to regret it. And I've gone through that situation where I used to chase people, and you got to be kidding me. My dogs again. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans, says John Lennon. But that's what I would say is you got to go with that gut. You got to ask yourself, is it really feeling natural? Should I have to work this hard? And that's what I've gone through in many different experiences in my life as I've been looking for a new location for my school, and realizing of working back into where I was in the very beginning when I was going through the leasing and dealing with this. I've got myself into a couple of situations again here where the people aren't getting back to me. They're pushing too hard, and there's just all these red flags that go up, and you just got to listen to that voice, and it's hard. And I think that voice will come through experience. You'll start to get a better radar within your own body. But so the lesson of today is, only give about a 2 email follow-up on something. Just, you don't want to be bugging these people. If they really want you, if they're desperate for you, if it's going to be legit, they're going to reach out. But don't keep following up. The only time that you want to follow up really is maybe you're in a situation where you've approached the company now. You've gone to them and say it's for, let's just put it in perspective, like it's for printing purposes. Like I'm looking to get something printed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact this company. I say, listen, I'm looking to get a quote from you. I'm looking to get this printed. How much does it cost? Maybe they'll get back to you once with, oh, I'm looking into it. And then all of a sudden you don't hear back from them. And so now I'm going to follow up again. And then maybe it might be a couple days and you might get an email back from them, maybe not. But maybe you've submitted your files to them already. So now I want to just kind of keep following up. Now you're the one who's taking the initiative. You got to be the person who's on the other end just trying to get things done. And what I find is that most people, their emails just get behind them. It just gets sort of pushed back and lost, and life happens and things do happen. So you want to be persistent, but there's a difference between you don't want to be a pest. You don't want to keep bugging these people. So I'm going to maybe wait a few more days, and now I'm going to contact them again and say, hey, you just want to give a reminder. And you know what, as I'm talking about this, you know where the biggest problem lies? When it's time for you to get paid. This is a huge problem that I find across the board is people are never willing to be so upfront and forthcoming and say, hey, want to let you know the check's coming. Just hold on tight. The check's coming. We're going to be sending it. Even in my professional career as a professional and working with major studios, I have had to be a bug. Because when you're requiring something from me and you want it turned in just straight away and you need it by Friday, although you really don't need it by Friday, you can wait till Monday, even though you say you want it by Friday, because you're not even going to get back to me on Friday. And how many times has that happened to me and to you guys out there? They'll want it straight away, but when it comes down to getting paid, you got to be on top of that. And I've talked to a lot of people freelancing who have even said to me, I just can't stand freelancing. I don't want to deal with it because it takes so long to get paid. Otherwise, I hate following up with the clients and bugging the clients. Well, that's a responsibility you have to be willing to take if you want to be a freelance artist or even just do any sort of freelance. Because people are listen, it's money. They just don't want to give it up so easily. And that's the worst part about the job, in all honesty, is, okay, here we go again, the email where I have to email you back and say, and all I say is that you never want to be mean to people. You don't want to sound like, you better pay me or I'm going to blah, blah, blah. You never want to do that because you got to be the professional. But simply send an email saying, hi, so-and-so, just wanted to follow up on the payment, see where we're at. And that's it, and leave it at that. And if they don't get back to you, well, then you do it again give it one day, and then you follow up on the previous day. Hi, so-and-so, just want to make sure you receive my email in regards to payment. And hopefully people will get back to you. Most often they do. The only time they're not going to do that is if you don't have an agreement with them, and there's been no arrangement, there's been no real verbal agreement, there's been no written agreement. People are going to say, forget it. I got what I wanted from the artist. I'm not even going to bother paying them. And that happens a lot out there. So that's why you have to have everything in writing. I totally recommend that you get 50% up front where you can. But after a while, enough's enough. Stop following up with people. If they're not going to take the initiative and responsibility to follow up, then forget it. I recently had a client. I do a lot of work, not just for the studios, but I do a lot of work just for outside businesses, companies from all over the place who have many different needs. This one particular company wanted to do some promotional work, and they contacted me. And I couldn't do it personally, so I have a list of, this is where networking comes in. I have a lot of my students who I refer work to if they've built up their portfolio and their stuff's looking good. Otherwise, other artists that I meet that have given me their cards that I believe are really good. And I give them the work because I can't do everything. And I'm contacting them and said, hey, just want to see what your freelance rates are and also just want to see if you're available to do something. and I'll let them know, but that this is coming down the pipeline. And then I speak to the client, and the client's all, yeah, we want to do this, we want to get this back, and we're hoping to get it out by November something. I'm all, okay, great. So they give me all the information, and I'll contact them back and say, hey, just want to follow up, kind of see where you're going, where you're at. Just want to let you know it's going to take some time to do this job that you're wanting. Oh, thanks, we're still getting stuff together. Okay. At that point, I'm going to sit back and I'm not going to keep pursuing them. Again, I don't want to keep chasing it. And if they're not going to call me back, and I've told them this is going to take me about 4 weeks to do, and you got this deadline, well, then you're out of luck, because don't call me in a frantic position when it's like 2 minutes left, the deadline's coming, that you need it done. I don't want that stress, and I'm not going to give my artist that stress either. I just think that's wrong. And quite honestly, now you're going to have to pay more, because now you've given me this deadline, and now it becomes a rush job. So all of a sudden, you got to add that into your, quote, where, yeah, you need this rush. Well, that's going to be a rush job. Think about it like this. What happens when you order something? You've ordered printing supplies, or you've ordered business cards or posters, whatever you've ordered, and they have the delivery, the shipping. What do they charge? They got the shipping, which can take, if you do it through this rate, you're going to pay through UPS, through this, you're going to pay this amount. But if you want it in 2 days, well, you got to pay more for that 2-day rush. Why are you any different as an artist? You're going to put that pressure on me that now I got to bend over backwards and get this to you within 2 days? Well, I'm going to charge for that, because now I got to stay up longer and I got to work harder. So you got to make sure that you add that even into your rates that you're going to do, and let them know that this is a rush job. And next time, give me a little bit more window room. So why you're no different than the shipping companies. So you want to think about that too, even when you're charging. And that's it. So anyway, that was the art talk today, just about follow-up, just making sure that you don't kill yourself, don't keep pursuing it, don't seem desperate, because that's when people start to take advantage of you, and you don't want that, because you're the professional, and if they really need you, they're going to get in contact with you. All right, so that's it. Make it a great week. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, share with your friends, let your people know that, hey, Steven does these cool little art talks on Mondays. Just follow him. Why not? And that's it. Have a great one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care. Understand what is happening all underneath here.